So here's something that I learned the hard way, and maybe it can help you save some time, energy, and suffering in your own life. Because I thought that I wanted success. I thought that I wanted a relationship. I thought that I wanted money. But I got all of those things, and I realized that they never really satisfied me. Even when I raised my standards and increased my goals, and I set off again to achieve them, I realized that they were never really enough. And after years of this and multiple attempts of more and bigger and better, thinking that there was a certain number or a certain person or a certain recognition that would satisfy me, that would ultimately be enough, I started to recognize this pattern and seeing this loop that I was stuck in. And I started to inquire into, why is this the case? Why can I never be content once I realize my goals? So then I questioned these things that I thought I wanted. And I inquired into, what is it that I ultimately want, which is what these things are going to bring me. And that's when I realized that what I really wanted was freedom, peace, and fulfillment. And this really changed everything, because I started to see the endless and fruitless rat race that I was playing within, that I was chasing after these symbols that were out here, that would never ultimately fulfill me, that they would never be enough in and of themselves, because they never address the underlying true desire. Money does not equal freedom. Freedom is an experience. It's a sense of self that money can bring. But it's not limited to money. And in many cases, money can actually be a limitation, because I was waiting for money to feel my freedom. And in that sense, I was a victim to my financial situation. I was actually pretending like I couldn't feel free. I couldn't feel like myself, and I wasn't capable or able to go out into the world and do what I wanted to do or create what I wanted to create, because I first needed money. And that is a limitation. And while I did want a relationship, what I truly wanted was a sense of peace, a sense of connection, that inner contentment with myself, which I thought another person would provide for me. And then there was the success that I was seeking. And what I really wanted was actually fulfillment. It had nothing to do with an external validation or a sense of self-worth that came from something that I produced or created. Some kind of output that could then quantify my own existence, my own sense of value. So I was seeking for all of these things outside of myself, trying to get more, trying to become better, looking to the world and to others for symbols of my own self-worth, for a permission slip to feel good, for reasons to believe that I am enough because of something that I've done. But you see, this is where I realized the futility in this effort, in seeking something outside of myself, these fleeting symbols, these impermanent experiences, and these temporary gratifications from others in the world. I truly believe that it was some combination of these that would actually bring about a lasting sense of well-being. But it wasn't until I turned inward and I did this introspection and self-inquiry that I started to realize that freedom, peace, and fulfillment are states of being. They are experiences that I generate without even needing the external symbols. Not only are these qualities generated from within, they're actually inherently what I am. My natural state and my true self is freedom, peace, and fulfillment. And by seeking those qualities outside of myself, I'm actually placing myself into a perpetual loop in looking for that which can never be found outside of myself, because it's always and already what I am. And this great distraction, this grand illusion that I need to get somewhere, that I need to create something or receive something in order to feel these things, was what was keeping me from recognizing that it is what I am. See, I was taught, most likely as you were, that I needed to produce or achieve or prove my own worth. That these worldly symbols of success and relationships and money were actually going to provide me with a confirmation that I was on the right track. And by buying into this belief, I began dismissing my own inherent worth, my true self, which is already all that I'm seeking, which cannot become anything more than it already is, which cannot receive anything to make it into something greater than it already is. And that through awareness, I can come into alignment with that true self and experience the freedom, the peace, and the fulfillment which I've been seeking all along. You see, all of this striving and struggling for these goals that I had was born out of the program that I'm not enough as I am. And so now I need to go out into the world and I need to produce and achieve and prove myself so that I can feel that sense of worth that would then fill that void within me. But all of this is futile because I started to understand that I could never overcome something which was untrue to begin with. And it was untrue that I was not enough. It was a lie that I was telling myself. It was a limiting belief which I had adopted from other people. In the midst of all this seeking and striving, I had a moment where I realized that I'm never going to get anything from the world which is going to give me any true or lasting sense of self-worth. And that actually I had been looking in the wrong direction the entire time. That I had been outsourcing my worth to my circumstances and to the opinions of others. Ultimately, I came to understand that true success is an inner game, and that there is nothing in the world or from others that are ever going to truly satisfy me. That the only authentic and lasting form of that would come from within. And so this outer game that I'd been playing is futile. That the majority of it is actually played from within. That the cause of my experience is actually an internal self-concept. And the rest of it is just a demonstration of the alignment that I've come into within my own self. That's when I become truly creative and powerful in terms of what I'm capable of in the world. Because I'm not seeking to get anything from that. I understand that there's nothing to gain from that which will add on to me and make me feel that I'm now more worthy, that I can now feel good enough. Because the fact that I'm alive, that I exist, is all the evidence that I need to know that I am worthy, that I am enough. And that unique and authentic individual that I am is really all that I'm seeking to be. I don't need to become something greater or achieve something bigger in order to feel that I can be myself, because I am already all that I'm seeking. And I've come to realize that there's no greater sense of success in life than to just be myself.